Thanks so much for having us. I'm very pleased to take part in this meeting. I'm dialing in from London, UK, but I have wonderful memories of San Diego, where I spent 1 year, many years ago at UCSD as an exchange student at the time from Italy. So it's great to reconnect. We in London have been running community repair activities for now close to a decade. Back in 2012, we ran our very first repair event. We call them restart parties. And we've been iterating on this in various ways. And more importantly, we have a vision that actually tries to bring repair at the center of what people can do, and to also see repair as happening in schools, so to be revalued as a commercial activity, and to be the start of a big rejections of throwaway products. In June, we'll be celebrating 10 years of activity, and to partly to celebrate all of this, we are starting on a new program called Fixing Factories. So trying to actually bring repair back in the high streets of our cities, and in recycling centers as well, like actually to turn away from the idea that recycling should be the norm into actually repairing and reusing and non downcycling, as Peter was referring to. So you'll hear more from us on this topic in the next few months. But of course, just a quick reminder, why are we caring so much, particularly about the electrical and the electronic products? It's down to the fact that the vast majority of their environmental impact happens in the production phase, not in the use phase. So if the only way to reduce our environmental impact is to keep using these products that otherwise use many resources. And the case of any smartphone, this is a rather old one, but it hasn't changed at all. The 79-80% of the overall impact of the phone happens before you've ever switched it on for the first time. So the only way we have to reduce this rampant push on using resources that are scarce in the planet is actually to keep using, repair, and reuse these products as much as possible. But the problem is our right to repair is constantly under threat. And highlighted here 4 of the key main issues that we're all facing globally. The movements, we've heard the presentation on what's happening at US level, but the problem is global. And I want to emphasize particularly some of the key issues around the affordability of the parts that often are just way too expensive, even when they are becoming available. And if you followed the story of the phenomenal U-turn by Apple just a few months ago in providing access to parts, wait and see how expensive these parts will continue to be. And then we're talking about repair manuals, but we need to talk about the diagnostics, which are not covered by any legislation so far. And then the big elephant in the room, the product design. If they're not designed to be repaired, well, then we are going to struggle and have to pay too much for them to get repaired. And the biggest problem coming up more and more is the problem of software, products that are not longer supported sufficiently software-wise. So there's been a lot of excitement about regulation coming to Europe and to the UK, claiming that we now have a right to repair. But the reality is we don't really. It's a very beginning first step into regulations that are going to make access to some spare parts for a minimum number of years for some few product categories, but with many caveats, including not having solved the problem of how affordable or not all these parts are, and whether who will ultimately gain access to them? Is it only the professional repairers? Is it also consumers? No, unfortunately, it's just professional repairers, and community groups such as the fix-it clinics, repair cafes, and the likes will not get access to high quality parts by legislation. So it's not really a right to repair. It's just the beginning. And regulation in any case is just simply too slow. It's not covering all types of products, and it's always coming too late and not affecting the products that are already in our homes. And this is just some data from our effort, which the Fix-It clinics contribute to at collecting and sharing data from what gets repaired at community repair activities. And it shows that there are so many product categories that people want to repair, keep repairing, and extended their lifetime. But any regulatory attention seems to be just on smartphones and just on most popular product categories. And there's a lot more that people want to repair. We always say the same people that want to repair their phones also want to be able to repair their coffee maker or any other product. So we need to step up the game massively. And the level of people's interest in all of this is huge. We know there's been polling data done by repair.org in the US, but we did some polling in just a few months ago in the UK. And guess what? 81% of the population want more access to repair, want right to repair extended to all kinds of product categories. And so this is really a matter of getting legislators to really make it happen. In the UK, we are currently petitioning the UK government, which is keeping very quiet on this topic since they left the European Union. But we're also working a lot as at European level. We are one of the founding organizations of the European Right to Repair campaign. And you see here a demonstration that happened about printers, which are a product category which is receiving a lot of hatred from everyone when they stop working, and increasingly some attention from campaigners, because it turns out that even at the European level, there's been just voluntary agreements, so-called voluntary agreements, where industry proposes what they think is sustainable. For example, products under the cost of 350 euros, they don't think they should have to provide any spare parts for them, which we think is not acceptable. This campaign, you should follow what comes out of it at repair.eu. We are one of the leading organizations, and it's been going on for the last 3 years, keeping pressure and trying to push for a universal right to repair for all products and for all people. And we are seeing some key developments happening at European level that I'm mentioning because hopefully will lead to regulation changes also in the United States and beyond. One is a battery legislation. We expect a vote at the European Parliament in March. And we hope that it will include that every battery for all products under 5 kilograms of weight should be user replaceable. All products, not category by category, but every product should have replaceable batteries. So no more earbuds that come with a design that makes them a throwaway product, for example. And then we see interesting signs on smartphones and tablet regulations coming up, and which for the first time could put a minimum number of years for support software-wise, and batteries and screens replaceable by the users. And then there is a lot of discussion and excitement about potential for a European repair index, but we think it's going to be very slow and not ambitious enough. But you know, hopefully we're going to be able to keep putting more pressure. I'm going to stop here, but happy to take questions and stay in touch with people after this wonderful event. Thank you very, very much.